So today I've got a very janky budget combo deck that can quite easily win on turn 3 if your opponent chooses to disrespect our tiny little goblin scamp. Hey everyone, Hex here, and today I have a quick video with a deck that contains no rares outside the mana base, but gets you very fast wins and can even win in the face of massive blockers, as you don't actually have to attack to do 20 or so damage. As always though, if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It massively helps out, and needless to say, I really appreciate all your support you give this channel. But onto this deck, and we're looking to either fling or sacrifice our way to victory. The main combo revolves around the cards Cacophony Scamp and a new one in Callous Sell Sword. Cacophony Scamp has been around a while now, and it is a 1/1 for 1 that when it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it, proliferate, and then it deals X damage to any target where X is its power. What's great here is if you load it with extra power and sacrifice it after you attack, doing effectively double damage that turn. Well, with Wilds of Eldraine, we have a way to make that triple damage with a sweet 2-drop uncommon called Callous Sell Sword. It's a black 2/2 that ETBs with a +1/+1 counter on it for each creature that died under your control this turn, but this isn't why it's in the deck. We're going to be using its adventure, Burn Together. It's a 1-drop sorcery that says target creature deals damage equal to its power to any target, then sacrifice it. So target your scamp after attacks for triple scamp damage, hopefully winning by turn 3. The other main creature to pump and sack for very fast damage is Monastery Swiftspear. Although it doesn't have the scamp sacrifice text, it usually gets through more damage in combat, and the sellsword can just do the rest. Other creatures we have include the Charming Scoundrel and Rabbit Battery. The battery gives haste and a small power boost if attached to your scamp, and the Scoundrel can be used in many other situations, especially to ramp to that turn 3 win. Pump effects include Monstrous Rage, Stolen Vitality, and Antagonize, all at instant speed, all great pre-fling. We also have the mandatory Kumano as some extra value in the deck that helps make mono red so consistent. Just the 21 lands today, and if you never plan on actually casting the sellsword as a creature, you can remove the black lands completely for a total red mana base, and that's the deck. This deck nets you extremely quick wins and can sometimes be all the difference if you're on the draw against mono red, as you can do a lot of extra damage very quickly. The scamp is a bit vulnerable as a turn 1 play, so bear that in mind, but a lot of times opponents don't want to kill it in case you end up pinging their creatures. Anyway, if you have any thoughts on this deck or cards I should be playing going forward, you can let me know in the comments below. You can find me over on Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching. Alright, on the draw, and this is a definite keeper, so we will. Opponent with Golgari land, so I don't really want to put my Swiftspear in too much danger here, so I will cast the Rabbit Battery, and if they want to spend next turn removing that, so be it. We can hit the opponent down to 19 though. So our hand is pretty nice. We just need to get sort of set up here, and then we can just use the sellswords to fling our, probably the Swiftspear at the moment, at our opponent's face. But opponent had a cut down like we thought, and we get to play the Scoundrel here, make a treasure, and yeah, we'll just sort of set ourselves up for the next couple of turns. I really don't want to just put all my creatures out onto the battlefield in the face of black mana. Okay, that is an underdog. So they would probably be okay with blocking with the underdog. So I don't think I'm going to attack here. I'm just going to pass the turn. We'll have 5 mana next turn. They might have a turn 4 Sheoldred here. And they do. Okay. Alright, so we could win this turn coming if they decide to not block the Swiftspear. We'll see how they want to block here. So they've got to always be worrying about this Monstrous Rage. A lot of decks are playing that card at the moment. So we'll just go for an attack here with the Swiftspear only. And if they want to block, we can pump our creature. But they don't block. Okay, this is what I thought might happen. So we can cast our Monstrous Rage here on our Swiftspear. That's going to make it a 5/4. Stolen Vitality is going to make this 9/6. Pop our opponent down to 9, and then we get to play the sellswords, Burn Together, even triggering Prowess again on the Swiftspear for a sweet 10 damage to our opponent's face to win out of nowhere. Nice. Alright, on the play. This time we have the Cacophony Scamp. A couple of Monstrous Rages. Unfortunately, they don't Well, you can only have the one monster roll attached to your creature. But I like our hand. Play with fire there. Okay, I think we will just play the Scoundrel here and make a treasure. I always like to try and make a treasure. You could always put a Wicked Roll on the Scamp to increase its power, but we don't have a third mana in our hand at the moment, so I think having a... Oh, Dennick. Okay. Well, I think having the treasure is good for us. Dennick's going to be annoying. But yeah, we're going to test the nerve of our opponent again. Just like last game, we are going to go to attacks. We're going to see how they block before we decide what we're going to do. Again, I wonder if they're scared of Monstrous Rage. Everyone's playing it at the minute. They don't block. And you know what? We're going to be very close to lethal here. We will pump our Scamp up to a 7-3, so that's 8 damage on board. Monstrous Rage on our Scoundrel is going to make the Scoundrel up to a 4-2, hit the opponent down to 7, and you know what? We can just sacrifice our Scamp for the final 7 damage, and that is a classic turn 3 win there. Amazing. They should have blocked with the Dennick, but I understand why they didn't. Alright, on the draw with an okay hand. It's pretty medium. The Callous Sell Sword's a nice card to have, but we don't have a Swiftspear or a Scamp. I think we'll start off with the Kumano. Allow us to cast the Scoundrel next turn with an extra counter on it. I am going a little bit off the boil with the Scoundrel. I really liked that card a few weeks ago, but it does do a lot in specific situations, but I think there are other 2-drops that could be used. I will cast it now though. Could have played the Scamp, but the opponent looks like they're holding something. And they've got 2 open white mana, so it could be several different spells. I'm not going to play the Scamp. I was going to, decided against it, because I think they might have, yep, the 2-2, what is it called? Ardenvale, Fealty, the 2-2 Vigilant Knight. So I'm glad we didn't block. Play with fire there can take care of that. Opponent down to 17 now. So we find a mountain, but we got another attacker in the Kumano now. It's going to do the same as what we did last turn, I think. Just go to attacks. If we can get up to a few mana here, this Scamp with the Antagonize and the Sell Sword could easily be a lethal attack. But opponent goes to block our Etching. I think I'm going to just Antagonize it here. Keep their creatures off the battlefield. And I'm actually going to sacrifice the Etching here. I'm just going to smash the opponent down to 9. I don't know if that's the right or wrong way to do it, but I don't want to leave 6 damage on the table there. Opponent with a Intrepid Adversary. And a Monstrous Rage, okay. Well, let's get this Scamp down. Next time we are threatening lethal, I think, if they don't block the Scamp. And it's Voice of the Blessed. Okay, well, that's going to want them to attack with the adversary, isn't it? Yeah, so they go up to 12. And the Voice of the Blessed is going to get a counter on it. But we're going to do what we've done in most of our games at the moment. We're just going to hit the attack button and we're going to just see how they block before we make any decisions on what we're going to do. They go for the block on the Scoundrel, and I think this is going to be game, isn't it? Because the Scamp gets through unopposed for 8 damage, and we can just sacrifice it. You know, I think it's important to block the Scamps. If someone's attacking you with that Scamp, I think you need to block it. I'm going to block from now on. Alright, on the draw. Pretty decent hand by us. We've got our Scamp. Oh, there's a Kumano. I think that's a better turn 1 play anyway. Opponent with a mountain. They may well have play with fire, but at least when our Scamp comes down next turn, it's going to be a 2-2. And when it dies, it's going to do 2 damage to something. So, got to be a bit careful about the opponent's Etching, as that will end up negating our Scamp. But we'll play the Scamp, we'll play the Swiftspear. Only problem with the Scamp is it doesn't have haste. You have to sort of have your fingers crossed, but I think the Swiftspear is more of a threat for our opponent here if they have removal. Urabrask's Forge. Okay, if we draw a land, I think we have another turn 3 win here. And that is a land. I haven't done the math here, but there's no way we don't win here, is there? We just Vitality and Rage this Scamp. Attack with everything, and then just sacrifice it. And we are doing... what's that? 15 damage? And then get to do another 8 damage. This deck's crazy. Wow. Alright, on the play. The hand's okay. We have a battery, so we have a turn 1 play here. We will play that, and we will put the opponent all the way down to 19. Opponent with a mountain and a Kumano. This has got to be the most played turn 1 play in the current standards, surely. If you're playing blue and you're not spell piercing this Kumano, I don't know what you're doing. Everyone seems to be playing it, but we get to the hit the opponent down to 15 there. And what is their follow-up play now that Kumano's on chapter 2? It is Kessig Flamebreather. Okay. I think we'll just shoot the opponent's face here. See what we're going to draw next. It's a Scoundrel. I don't think so. I think we need land or something better. I don't mind the Swiftspear there, though, although it doesn't give us much to do this turn. I think we'll go to attacks first, as no one seems to be blocking anymore. Yep. We'll just antagonize this and get 6 damage through while we can. Opponent down to 7, and that is pretty precarious for them, especially as we have a Sell Sword and Antagonize and a Swiftspear in our hand. We might be able to just win without actually attacking anymore this game. If we draw a couple of lands, we'll see how it plays out, but... okay, let's play with fire onto our Rabbit Battery. The Wicked Roll is going to do... no, it's not, because the opponent has Etching out. They go down to 12. Or we go down to 12. And there is a Rabbit Battery for us. Alright, well, our land situation is pretty bad. I think what we need to do here is just play both our creatures. Attack our opponent. Fingers crossed they don't have a play with fire. We can pop them down to 5. Then next turn with a land we could win. Or next turn without a land we can win if the opponent decides to attack with their creatures. Reckless Impulse for them. And it is a end the festivities. Okay. So presumably they got another one of those. They don't. It's a Phoenix chick. Or please attack with that 2/4. They don't attack with the 2/4. Okay, we get a land anyway. Fantastic, because this is how you win without attacking. You just cast Antagonize onto your Swiftspear, and then the Sell Sword can do the rest. They probably didn't see this coming this turn. Nice. It's always nice to beat a mono red deck when you're playing mono red. Alright, on the draw here, I mean, 2 Swiftspears in our opening hand. Yes, please. There's another turn 1 Kumano, okay. As we find a mountain. Well, I'm not going to turn my nose up at land. I'm just going to go for this Swiftspear here. Sometimes I like to hold open and play with fire, but a lot of times opponents' turn 2 plays are the adversaries. And they come out as 3/3s. But in this case, it was a Phoenix chick, so we could have held our play with fire to deal with that. And a Reinforced Ronin for our opponent. Okay. Not a card you see often. We go down to 15, though, and that is a card we can't really interact with. Draw a Scoundrel. So this is a turn where I think the Scoundrel, if it was sort of any other creature or any other spell, would probably be better. But we do get to make a treasure, and we do get to hit our opponent here for 3. So what do I want to draw next turn? I think I need to draw a Sell Sword would be nice, I think. Maybe even a Monstrous Rage or something. It's just another mountain. Problem we've got here is I really want to attack with everyone, but I think we're going to have an issue. So I'm just going to attack with the Swiftspears. We'll hold the Scoundrel back as a blocker. We need to do a bit of damage. We could have always played the other Scoundrel as another blocker, but we'll see how this goes. And let's just shoot this Squee while we have a chance. Get 10 damage through. So we could have taken the opponent, I guess, down to 1 that turn if we'd attacked with the Scoundrel and play with Fired their face. But 1 isn't dead, and we would have absolutely surely died on the crackback. We'll block Etchin with our Scoundrel here. Go down to 3. Fingers crossed they don't have any other plays. Okay, Lightning Strike. Fair enough. They had it. That was a close one. Alright then, on the draw. Hand is pretty nice actually. Gonna go for the Scamp. Opponent played a Deserted Beach, so hopefully this survives. They follow up with a Island. And Recruitment Officer, okay. Well, I don't really want to attack into that, so we'll play the Scoundrel here. And we'll throw a Wicked Roll onto our Scamp to make it a 2-2. If opponent wants to kill our Scamp, then they're going to take 2 damage. They may not want to do that. We got a little sneaky attack in there with the Scoundrel, as they definitely don't want to lose their Recruitment Officer. But they miss a land drop, okay. And we hit our land drop, so we've got 5 lands now over the next... So can we win within 5 lands? I think we should be able to. But we'll do what we were doing earlier. We'll just attack with everyone. Everyone seems to be scared of Monstrous Rage, as they should be. So a lot of times you can sneak through damage here and there. We'll cast Monstrous Rage here on our... Just cast it onto our Scoundrel, I think. Oh, they got Mate Disappear. I was wondering if they had a Resolute Reinforcements. But we've kind of forced them into using a Mate Disappear. But we can pay for that. Take the opponent down to 13. Okay, there's reinforcements. So it looks like they might be missing land again. Which they are. I think the Swiftspear in this situation is a good one. And the Rabbit Battery. And we will attack with everyone. They didn't block last time. So they go to block our Scoundrel and our Swiftspear. We'll wait for blocks to happen before we decide what we're going to do with our Monstrous Rage. They don't do anything. Well, Monstrous Rage on the Scamp should be lethal here. Yep, opponent goes down to 3, and then this Scamp can do the rest. I'm telling you, you've got to block this Scamp.